Seems to be a bit of an issue. What I've watched and what I've witnessed so far, he's a decent player, but I'll be honest, I was expecting better when you fork out £5 million of that as the fee. So I think that is an issue. Left centre back, left back, I think that's certainly where you need to strengthen at the moment. You know, yes, it's a work in progress, and there is good players in the final third. You know, it will maybe take them a little time to gel, but you look at that problem area and it is the left side of defence.
What do you guys like at this time then? Just coming out on the pitch, a big European night at Ibrox, just buzzing.
You know, there's not a better feeling. When that music comes on, you're walking down the tunnel in front of these fans. You know, the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up now, just thinking about it. You know, it's a wonderful place to be playing your football. What a night it is. You know, European night, Champions League football beckons. You know, you've got to go out there and deliver. And listen, there's no better place to be delivering in front of these fans.
Yourself there, bring back special memories?
Absolutely, it's just magnificent, you know, and Kenny's just, that's why I broke off there, you know, as soon as I heard that music, you know, it does something to you, but, you know, memories, yeah, absolutely magnificent. And, you know, look at the fans, you know, what they put on here tonight, that's absolutely over left-hand side, you know, the Broomlin stand, that's absolutely magnificent, you know, the work that goes into that, but this atmosphere is electric. So it's all set, Kenny. Now it's down to the players to go and deliver.
Well, Derek fancies the players to deliver tonight. Kenny, just share that optimism.
Absolutely. I think there has to be a response. I do like the changes that have been made to the team. They need to be matching the energy for the stands, because it can feed off each other. The players perform, the fans get right behind the team, but the fans right behind the players, they need to respond. They need to see a better performance tonight, higher energy right from the start. It needs a quick start to get right at Servette and make them feel this atmosphere as well.
Well, it's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's Rangers against Servette in Champions League qualifying with Derek Ferguson, Kenny Miller and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Kenny. It was already a massive match, and off the back of what happened on Saturday evening in Ayrshire, it's gone up a couple of notches more, if that is possible, in terms of significance. Can Rangers, and Michael Beale is appealing for it, get their season started tonight under the lights at Ibrox? It was very much a full start at the weekend. It was a tremendous Kilmarnock performance, let's not forget that. But in terms of where Rangers are aiming at, it was a massive letdown, and he hasn't hung about, the Rangers gaffer, in making the changes we expected him to make. Todd Cantwell returning was a certainty. Ryan Jack is in that midfield threesome as well, and there's a first start in blue for wearing number 99, the Brazilian Danilo. Dropping out for Rangers, Lundstrom and Sima and Dowell. And on the other side tonight, a team making 4 changes from the weekend. They came back late to equalise to keep their unbeaten start to the season. Servette, like Rangers in their league last season, they were runners-up. They've gone through turmoil over the last couple of decades, but they are back, and they have an opportunity knocking for them tonight, and a chance to go a step closer to Champions League group football, having won already in Europe this season on penalties against Genk. 5 games under their belt, just the one for Rangers. Will that be a factor tonight in how this plays out? And you would imagine how it starts is going to be hugely important. Lots of anticipation, expectation around the stands here as we get underway at Ibrox. Champions League qualifying round number 3. 2 ties to win for Rangers if they want to get to the promised land of the Champions League. They want to get back, they want to do better, but there are steps to be taken before they even think that far ahead. Lovely ball forward from Tavernier for Dessert. He just cushioned it back, and Todd Cantwell had a shot supporting the strikers, which was blocked. Well, that is a sprightly start from Rangers.
Absolutely, again, exactly what you need. They've been asking the Servette defenders to defend, a ball forward, a run forward, and support for Cantwell, who already has had 4 or 5 touches of the ball in that move there. You can see him, he's hungry to get on the ball and try and make things happen.
And he's just giving
a positive sense.
Yeah, he's just giving it away, Kenny, as he heard your glowing comments. But I'm sure if Michael Beale had his time again, I'm sure Todd Cantwell would be in that starting lineup at Kilmarnock on Saturday. It just didn't seem to be making the right sort of statement in terms of what Rangers were intending to do. But he's in here. He's made a mistake there.
I don't mind that, Rob, but, you know, he's trying to force the play, and that's what you need, certainly early on in this game, you know, to try and get on the front foot.
So it's a free kick midway inside the Rangers half for Servette, and their first chance to try to make something happen. It's Konya who plays it in, and it's a good header away from Desser, back helping out defensively. Now Cantwell in possession across on the right hand side. Lots of Servette players around it to hustle the ball out of play. Rangers looking to make a confident opening to the game, and certainly within the opening seconds they were up at the edge of the Servette penalty box, and with a bit of luck that shot from Cantwell might have got through. The ball currently is back with Connor Goldson in defence. Nikola Raskan running into trouble for a moment, but comes away with the ball still in his possession. Back to Goldson again, loves a long diagonal, and he's looking to pick out the run of Danilo into the box, and he reached up a right boot, couldn't quite make contact on it, but he holds up the hand of acknowledgement because he liked that idea.
And I like that idea as well, Rob. If it's something that's been missing in this Rangers team now, Danilo straight away, you can see he's going to have a freedom maybe to move, get closer to Desser. Desser coming off, Danilo going behind. It's threatening this Servette team. Too often on Saturday, everything was in front of the Kilmarnock players. So really good action there from Danilo.
Rangers 0, Servette 0 early on at Ibrox, and Danilo is certainly looking lively. Now Cantwell with Danilo, steps inside, squares the ball towards Tavernier. His disguised ball into the box is blocked. Plenty back for Servette as they hold off that threat, but here comes the skipper again, angling a run towards the edge of the box. And again, the massed ranks defensively of Servette get the ball clear, and they now look to break, but they're lacking numbers. The ball is handed back to Rangers. Cantwell on halfway, and John Suter just behind him. Suter, whose mistake was punished by Brad Lyons at the weekend as Kilmarnock scored the only goal of the game, and Rangers got off to a losing start. It's not too often we say that. 20 years since that happened on opening weekend. Barisic left side for Rangers into Raskan and Cantwell. Those two combine so well, arriving at Rangers at the same time, and key components in that midfield area. Ryan Jack central involved as well. Short pass to Cantwell, lay off to Raskan. Rangers moving smoothly to the byline it goes, and a clumsy challenge, and that will be a penalty. Down goes Todd Cantwell. It was a desperate looking challenge, clumsy, badly timed, and the decision was not difficult. Penalty.
Absolutely, and up to that point, you know, we get the penalty. It's brilliant one-touch football from Rangers in that final third. And you know, the defender just takes a touch, and there's Cantwell's on him in a flash, and just sees him and he sticks out the leg, and yeah, it's a Stonewall penalty kick. Great from Cantwell, you know, he's not just standing off it, admiring, you know, the fine play that we've just witnessed there. You know, he's away to shut him down, and the defender not expecting that, and yeah, he catches him, and Cantwell goes down. Penalty kick.
It was David Doolin, the central midfielder, who got that horribly wrong, and he's handed Rangers the chance to go in front. 5 minutes on the clock at Ibrox. Are Rangers going to get the fast start they so desperately wanted? It's James Tavernier from the spot, and you just know the outcome. Goalkeeper Joel Mull went one way. The ball was rifled down the other side. Tavernier gets the job done. Rangers in front on a massive night at Ibrox.
And it's a perfect start, Rob. I mean, it is. It's a stonewall penalty, like Derek says. Anticipated it really, really well, Todd Cantwell did. And James Tavernier, ever reliable for the penalty spot, just waits for the keeper to move and puts it straight down the middle. And this is the perfect start. We've barely seen Jack Butland even the ball even going anywhere near Jack Butland's goal in this first 5 minutes, and Rangers are already 1-up. It's really, really important that they press this now. They've got Servette where they want them after the start, but they need to keep at it.
Yeah. Rangers get their just rewards. It's from that fine start. They've come out of the traps. You know, they're one and two touch football in that final third, and you know, and it's ended up, you know, Servette, they make a mistake, you know, but it's down to the good play from Rangers, and that's when they've got the fans behind them now. And as Kenny's saying, it is a perfect start. Can they go on now? Because they could kill the tie here tonight.
Yeah.
You know, this is a weakened side, don't forget that. You know, they're missing so many players, so you know, let's go and put them to the sword.
Well, as Derek says, they made a great start, but also the move that brought about the penalty, it looked as if the move had fizzled out at that point. But what went before was really slick, impressive football, and it epitomised the start that Rangers have made in the game. But now they've got some defending to do, as the response comes from Fofana, making a good run down the left side, winning a corner kick in the end for Servette. And of course, you can always be a little bit fragile immediately after you've scored.
Yeah, you can, and particularly when you've got a guy with pace that Fofana has. It just serves you to, it's got to be an understanding for this team could really hit Rangers on the counter-attack, because it was a wonderful goal and a wonderful move, but again, Servette looking to hit back early.
Corner kick left-hand side for the Swiss team. It's a poor delivery, and it's easily fended away at the near post and out for a throw-in on the far side. So no threat at all from that set play for Servette.
He's chased a lost cause down there, hasn't he, Cantwell? You know, in the box. He sees it. The midfield, is it midfielder, wasn't it?
Was,
you know, he takes it. He notices he's going to take a touch, and he's on him in a flash.
He knows exactly what's going on there. He knows he's taking that touch, and he knows he's going to nick it in front of him because he's read it. He was lively. He was again everything that probably wasn't to the performance on Saturday. Brilliant move, great energy to the move, quick passing, and intensity to it, and someone actually again understanding and reading a situation.
Here come Rangers again on the attack. Todd Cantwell has got a real appetite for the game tonight. He's here and there and everywhere, closing down when Servette are in possession, piling the pressure on, getting the ball back, and Rangers keeping up an impressive early match tempo here. They lead by 1-0. Ryan Jack tries to thread a pass through, interception on the break. It's Bedia for Servette. And his one comes to a halt with the sliding challenge of Nicolas Raskin, winning it back again for Rangers. A real hunger about Michael Beale's team in these early stages, and they lead by James Tavernier's penalty to 0.
Dessler just needs to be careful there. That ball's going into him, and it's a flick, and it sets a counter-attack up. You have to look after the ball. You've got a lot of bodies in and around your area, opposition players, but you've also got a lot of support. Pick your teammate out, and it can lead to attacks, not counter-attacks.
But what you had there as well, Kenny, you know, you need your teammates at times. If you make a mistake and you're saying, yeah, he's got to hold it in, there's Raskin, you know, getting back there, making a brilliant challenge just to break up that attack.
And Cantwell working his socks off again to get back in there. It's something he does probably go unnoticed for Todd Cantwell. His work ethic's been excellent since he came to the club.
A little word for Nicolas Raskin for a late challenge, just about on the halfway line on David Doulin, the man who conceded the penalty, as the ball is played into the Rangers penalty box, and it's just escorted back by Barisic to Jack Butland, who was off his line to grab the ball. Now Cantwell receives it from the goalkeeper, heads up to halfway, flips a pass out wide to goal scorer Tavernier. Alongside him is the Belgian under-21 international Raskin. Just does a little spin, takes some time on the ball, plays it back, and it's a cross now to Barisic, left-hand side. There's room for him to deliver. In it comes, left-footed, lots of pace on it, headed clear, only as far as Cantwell. In goes Konya. Ryan Jack then wins the challenge and plays the ball wide right for Tavernier. Rangers looking to deliver again, in from Raskin, headed away by Servette. And now Bedia, the striker, looks to keep possession, tall figure, and attacking down the left-hand side, Servette. The Rangers with numbers back, and the ball goes back. 7 on with the captain Rouillet alongside him on the halfway line. An angle ball out wide. It looks as if that might have gone out before it was headed back in by Vuyo. The Rangers win the ball in any case. Danilo running into trouble, comes off Rouillet. Lovely clipped pass from Cantwell down the line for Danilo, just bounces away from the Brazilian, but what a start to the game Todd Cantwell has had with 11 minutes gone.
He's here, there and everywhere. It's quite unbelievable. He's popping up the left-hand side, right-hand side, he's picking up balls edge of the box. You just worry he's going to, he might blow up, the energy that he started this game with is quite unbelievable, but the quality as well.
It's almost as if he's sending the message to Michael Beale, why did you leave me out on Saturday? And I think a lot of the Rangers fans will be asking that question as well, but he is certainly delivering at the moment exactly what it says on the tin about Todd Cantwell. Vuyo on the right side for Servette into the central area. Dulin plays it wide left as Servette look to create something. In it comes from the left-hand side, and tucking in from left back is Barisic to get that clear, bouncing around in the midfield, nodded down by Danilo. Lammers looks to break. He's having his shirt held on the halfway line, and that will be a free kick against the challenge on the Dutchman, and it's going to be a yellow card to go with it as well. Well, David Dulin is having a nightmare. He conceded the penalty. Now he's got a booking against his name as well.
Yeah, he's going to have to tread carefully now, because that was a sloppy one there. I mean, I don't think there was too much in it, but when you pull the jersey back and you break, particularly an attacking situation up like that, you leave the referee with no choice but to get the yellow card out.
Rangers coming up with the ideal response so far to what happened at Rugby Park on Saturday. Barisic again, left-hand side, another booming cross in, and coming in off the right side was Lammers. Got his head to it, never really in the body position to get that header on target. But again, threats coming down the left side, and nobody really getting close to Barisic, and he's able to do as he please with some pretty dangerous looking crosses.
Yeah, and it's good to see him, getting down that left-hand side. I think that's his strong point in his game. I think he does lack defensively, but he whips in some terrific balls, and Rangers get bodies in the box. We know about this side as well, but Servette, they'll not be phased. Genk and that tie, they went behind. What was it? A couple of times, 2-3 times, and they came back. So they look a little bit rattled at the moment, but just starting to find their feet a little bit.
We'll try and not go on too much about Todd Cantwell, but he has been the complete package so far. 13.5 minutes gone, and he could compile a show reel already, I think, from his highlights in the game. Outstanding. The ball back with Goldson and back to Butland.
And that's what you need for Todd Cantwell. He's involved in every stage of the game. He wants to, at the moment he's deeper, he can play in that kind of deeper role, but when he does feed off, he moves forward into the next area, and he'll affect the game higher up also. He's putting on the complete midfield performance at the moment.
Lovely 1-2, and John Suter striding forward, rolls the ball wide. Barisic can deliver. Great ball in! Rangers have a 2-0 lead, and Cyril Dessert has his first goal for Rangers. A tap-in at the back post after Suter drove forward, and Borna Barisic put it on a plate for Cyril Dessert to make it 2-0 Rangers. They are cruising inside 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's an absolute wonderful goal, and we're talking about Cantwell. He is back picking it up, he plays into Suter, and Suter drives forward past 1-2 players, little pass into the left-hand side, and what a delivery again. Maybe takes a slight nick, but there's Dessert. in at the back post and just bundles it into the back of the net.
But you look at the run for Danilo, he affects the goalkeeper, he affects the other defender as well, and he gives his big teammate at the back Dessler an absolute tap-in. Great, he has to do that. He could get the tap-in, but it's a real unselfish run across the front post for the striker.
Yeah. They're getting bodies in the box, Rob, you know, and it's so important. I mean, that's what, 3 or 4 great deliveries from Barisic, you know, and, you know, bodies in the box and creates a little bit of mayhem. And, you know, and every, you know, finisher or striker, you know, it doesn't matter how you put it into the back of the net. You know, he's only, what, a yard or 2 out. As he bundles it in with his thigh, wasn't it, Kenny? Yeah, brilliant.
How good will John Souttar be feeling right now off the back of what happened at Rugby Park on Saturday, because he played a big part there. He played a lovely 1-2 and drove forward and was central to that attacking move by Rangers, which ended with Barisic setting up Dessler.
Yeah, listen, he'll be delighted, because for me, John Souttar can do that, but too often he runs into blind alleys in the middle of the pitch when he's stepping out of that. And this time, the switch he plays came, he stepped in and he's eliminated a player, and all of a sudden they looked a little bit short on bodies at the back, Servette, and he picked the right pass, and it was a wonderful cross for Barisic, right in between that defensive line and the goalkeeper, asking all kinds of questions. 2-0 Rangers. We talked about the perfect start. Derek said it, this tie could be put to bed if they keep this intensity up.
And they've got to keep down this left-hand side. You know, Barisic, that's what, 3-4 times the room that he's getting, you know, and the time to deliver those great crosses into the box. So, you know, they've got to keep doing that, you know, keep getting into this left-hand side, keep putting deliveries in, and, you know, you'll get some of those outcomes that we saw already.
It really is important, though, that one of the midfielders make the box as well, because Todd Cantwell, Raskin and Jack, they're probably more suited to playing beyond. Todd Cantwell did get, playing from behind in supporting positions. Todd Cantwell can get in the box and score goals, and out of the 3, he's probably the more likely one that's going to get on the end of something.
Yeah, Borna Barisic was certainly warming up for that assist on the second goal with a couple of terrific balls in, and he can continue to be a threat because he's got acres of space around him if Rangers can get the ball to him again, and they've done it right now. Left-hand side, Barisic in again, low delivery this time, headed away only as far as Raskin, and his right foot volley flashes just wide of target. Rangers very much in the mood.
Yeah, keep feeding the ball. We keep saying it. Campbell, you know, just coming off, taking possession of the ball, simple ball into Barisic. It wasn't the greatest cross, you know. I think the defender gets a header, but as soon as Raskin hit that, thought it was going to nestle in that top left-hand corner, just skews it away.
That's making them defend, though, there, you know. He gets the ball, and by the Rangers players have to know, Borna Barisic is going to get the ball at his feet and deliver it in.
Fofana in possession for Servette with a shot from 25 yards, which is straight down the throat of Jack Butland. Nothing troublesome at all for the Rangers keeper so far. And down at the other end, James Tavernier's penalty and Cyril Dessler's tap-in make it 2-0 Rangers against Servette, live on BBC Radio Scotland. The ball out with Lammers on the right-hand side. Tavernier links with him down that side. And back into the central defensive area with Conor Goldset. And across now with John Souttar. Into the feet of Cantwell. Threaded through for Danilo. Square pass to Lammers. Lots of movement in this Rangers attacking formation. Tavernier's cross ball, glancing header, Cantwell. Dessler knocks it down. Danilo with a shot juggled by the goalkeeper, and he grabs it at the second attempt. Otherwise, it was 3-0.
Yeah, and across to the right side this time with Tavernier. Again, not the best one, but they're asked to defend. They get it wrong, and Rangers players are on it. It was a good attempt for Danilo, a high side volley, got the technique right, straight down the goalkeeper's throat, though. It's all Rangers in this first 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, just over 19 minutes gone, and it is pretty much one-way traffic. And Rangers looking to build the sort of advantage which lets them go to the Stade de Genève next week with lots of confidence. It will be the first full house there in 20 years, and it will be a hostile atmosphere for Rangers. But at the moment, they look to be building a strong advantage in this first leg. Borna Barisic with a header away, which finds Cantwell, and he just calms things down with a back pass to Jack Butland. And the ball rolled out to John Souttar. angled ball up towards Lammers. There was a nudge when the ball was in the air from Kutesa. Gets away with it, and the ball is worked across to Vuillo, the right back on the other side for Servette. Currently mid-table in the Swiss Super League, but unbeaten. A win in 4 draws so far, as Servette win a free kick given against the challenge of Lammers, backtracking on the Rangers' right side. So a chance for the Swiss team to get the ball in the box. It was Mazikou, the Congolese international, who was tripped. And this free kick is about 10-15 yards in from the touchline, left-hand side. A cluster of Servette players just outside the penalty box as Rangers look to get themselves organised defensively. In it comes from the set piece. The knockdown is comfortably dealt with by Lammers, gets it away, and there's a foul then on Todd Cantwell, bundled over on the touchline. It will be a fairly obvious Rangers free kick.
It's a little bit naughty, that. You know, he knows what he's doing. You know, Cantwell can't protect himself. It's an elbow into the back of the head.
Yeah, it was Jeremy Guimeno who knocked him over there. It's maybe the only way they've been able to stop Todd Cantwell so far.
It's been frightening, hasn't it, in terms of, you know, they talk about these heat maps. You know, I'd like to see, what have we played, 21 minutes, 22 minutes. I'd like to see a heat map of Todd Cantwell. It's been exceptional.
Could be charred already.
It's on fire. But they've got to keep this pace up, you know, and I think, you know, he's a talisman, Cantwell. You know, he's leading by example, and the rest of the boys, well, he's rubbing off on the rest of the players.
Konya to Mazikou as Servette get themselves forward, but trailing in Ibrox by a couple of goals already. Tavernier and Dessert on the mark. Dessert's first goal for the club. James Tavernier very much back in the old routine. Cantwell again under pressure in much the same area where he was bundled over, and well, everything is coming off for him. Good feet, and he works it back to Barisic, who clears. But a free kick is going to go against Cantwell for his challenge in the midfield area on David Durlin.
It's a little bit of retribution there, I think, for that one on the touchline. I know it's not the same guy, but it's his teammate was getting it this time.
That'll do.
Yep.
Close enough.
Listen, he's right through the back of them. You know, he's just got to be careful, because sometimes in this stage, and European referees might look at that and get a yellow card. There's no need to take kind of silly bookings at this stage. It's been such a good performance, good energy. Just, again, you can make your presence felt without kind of overstepping the line.
He's just really fired up, isn't he, Todd Cantwell? And maybe that's what that challenge.
And quite right as well, Rob, you know, because he was left out of the team. You know, so when you talk about responses, there was a reason he was left out. You know, maybe he thought he was going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Michael just needed to give him that kick up the backside just to let him know, you know, there's other players here now. You know, you're going to need to earn the place in the starting lineup. Well, they're certainly doing that tonight. Really
good football again from Rangers. First one-touch stuff through the midfield area. It was very impressive, getting themselves again into a good area. Final ball didn't come off, but what preceded it was top drawer. And the ball back with Butland on the left foot, fires it. Well, it's going to go out of play, bouncing out of play close to the touchline, but not much has gone wrong for Rangers in the opening 24 minutes. BBC Radio Scotland at the big match tonight, and Rangers lead Servette by 2-0. Very much in charge of this tie at this stage. As the ball is fired forward by Servette, headed away by Barisic. Back doing his defensive duties, and well, he's been a significant presence when he's got forward down the left-hand side. And an assist already on the night for Cyril Dessert's goal. A pretty timid-looking attack down the right-hand side from Servette. The ball goes out of play. It was Jeremy Guimeno who just took his eye off it. And it's a throw-in for Rangers midway inside their own half. Rona Barisic with it, aiming towards Dessert. Good feet, good strength. Finally, Doolin put his body in front of him, and the Servette midfielder hits the deck, and that will be a free kick against Rangers number 9.
You can see why they are direct. You know, there's an opportunity just to get the ball down and play, but no, they just want to get that ball into the box, and you know, look for second balls as well. So not intent on playing, you know, a typical European style, just get the ball into the box.
Konya whipping in the free kick. Rangers defend it well, and now the blue shirts are flooding forward on the counter attack, and it's at the feet of Danilo, left side of the pitch. He's attacking the central area now. Just got the ball caught under his feet for a moment there. He was being very positive, but just lost control of the ball at the key moment. Rangers, it's a feature of the game that when they lose it, they very quickly get it back. There was a late challenge by Bedia on Goldson as he stepped out of defence, and that will be a Rangers free kick 15 yards inside the Servette half.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity there. Yeah, Danilo was really positive. I think a fully fit and up to speed Danilo gets that off, or he gets his shot away, but he was looking just to hold the play up, suck the Servette defenders in and release Barisic, and he just got the ball caught under his feet. I mean, Barisic had made a 70-yard run for his left back area all the way up there, and Danilo just got it wrong. You could see Borna Barisic was absolutely gutted the fact that he never released him, because he would have been on for a shot, a goal, or it might even been just a pass across the goal for a teammate to tap in. Missed opportunity there for Rangers on the counter.
The free kick right in the middle of the pitch, and the two fullbacks, James Tavernier and Borna Barisic, over it. It is Barisic to clip it right side of the box. John Suter got his head to it and then fell pretty heavily as the ball is knocked back into Goldson beyond the back post. His header is dealt with this time by Servette, who scramble it clear.
I think you can see a bit of uncertainty in this defence, Rob.
Yeah.
From the penalty situation, you got that one there where I think it was Fofana was waiting on somebody else. James Tavernier runs past him, gets on the ball, even on the clearance here. It's a bit of to you, to me. You know, this with all these players missing and these starting players, there's maybe a bit of unfamiliar kind of defending going on between these players, because there does look uncertainty in this backline, whether it be defending crosses or actually just dealing with simple clearances.
Yeah, Rangers have to be thinking there are more goals in this game. They can build up what could be an unassailable lead if they keep up this momentum. Barisic down the line, Danilo chasing. Rie, the skipper, covers across. Doolin fires it forward. Fofana hooks it infield, but he was never really in control of that. And John Suter got the ball clear for Rangers, and then Ryan Jack just calms things down, slows things down, and Rangers begin again with Cantwell.
It's just something they'll have to keep an eye on, though, Derek, there, because they left themselves 2 for 2. There was a couple of situations at the end of the game against Kilmarnock at the weekend where Kilmarnock could have went actually another goal up with the transition moments. Rangers leave themselves 2 for 2, and I think for me, Fofana and Bedia have been the two guys that look most likely.
A ball in behind Barisic for Guimeno. He knocks it across the pitch for Fofana. And that was a threatening moment from Servette, and it's an important intervention in the end, which sends the ball behind for a corner kick.
It's just a little reminder, isn't it? You know, Barisic, you know, he's ever so good going forward, but just caught out of position a little bit there, you know, and Servette get the ball into that area, and you know, it could have been a better outcome for them. But
in comes the corner kick. Rangers get it clear. The furthest back player for Servette, Bradley Masiku. Now they look to create with a ball in from the left-hand side. Great header by Cantwell to get it away. He was soaring, and now the counter-attack. Rangers have plenty forward, but the pass is disappointing from Danilo. There were options for him, and Rangers lose the ball, and Bedia looks to link up with Fofana on the counter. Good challenge, Connor Goldson. Back to Butland, and the goalkeeper gets it clear.
Another chance for the Rangers on the counter. I mean, you've seen him as Ryan Jack was bursting forward. I mean, I think pace was not one of Ryan's strengths, but he was bursting forward to try and take part in that counter-attack. And I think Danilo just tried to release Desser, who had misread the situation. But again, both teams looking dangerous on the counter-attack. If they're a little bit more clever with it and cleaner with opportunities, there'll be a chance there to get the next goals.
Guio's cross blocked, and now he's trudging back, and Rangers go again with Danilo crossing halfway way wide is Barisic, but he needed to put a little bit more on the pass to find the left back, and Konya was able to intercept for Servette. They just need to be a little better with the quality of the passes at times, Rangers.
Yeah, just need to take care. I know he's running at pace, Danilo, but you know, there's acres of space to play the ball into, you know, and again, that is just taking care of it, you know. And again, Barisic, you know, he's bombing up the outside, you know, again, it's another 50-60 yard run. He's absolutely knackered at the moment.
Yeah.
You know,
it was
just
basketball there for a couple of minutes there, wasn't it? It was you attack, we attack, you attack.
But the great thing is, who's getting back in to cover him? It's Cantwell. You know, he notices, you know, Barisic out of position, and Cantwell reads that situation, gets himself right in there. That's what I'm saying. He's not just a flair player, a creative player, he's a team player.
I don't think I've seen anyone look more devastated at a pass not reaching him than Tony Barisic there.
That's true now, Rob. That's true.
As he trudged back. The upshot of the pass that didn't quite hit the target is that Danilo has changed the boots. Crossing the touchline, he's changed his boots.
That was what it was, wasn't it? It was the boots.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly not the playing surface, which is looking pretty immaculate tonight, and Rangers are certainly using it to the best possible outcome as an offside flag goes up with Servette on the attack. And there's been little joy for the Swiss side so far here. 31.5 minutes gone at Ibrox. Rangers 2, Servette 0. And of course the second leg is in Geneva next Tuesday.
Yeah, and Rangers, I mean, for the start they've got something just to build on. Sometimes they need to put their foot on the ball and just keep it. It did get a bit end-to-end there, and there's not a lot of control when the game goes like that. Michael will want his team to have control tonight, because against this team, I think Berry and Fofana look the real threats going forward, but if they can nullify that by keeping the ball and making them work and playing how they played for that first 20-25 minutes, there's definitely more goals in it. They'll look a real threat through Dessert, Danilo, and like say Cantwell breaking forward.
I think we're seeing the value of Ryan Jack in the midfield area as well. In the game, he doesn't grab the eye as much as Todd Cantwell for obvious reasons, but in the last few minutes he's just played some really probing passes. Here come Rangers with Lammers on the attack. He tries to link up with Dessert, but ends up fizzling out this time for Rangers, goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they've stopped feeding the ball into Barisic. I think they're just getting a little bit too narrow there, you know, a little bit too intricate. You know, it's not rocket science, you know, where the threat came from. It's came this left-hand side. Barisic crosses into the ball. He's there in acres of space. Just use him. You know, sometimes it's as if it was too of an easy ball to play, and they're looking for that harder ball. Keep it simple. Keep doing the simple things. Get the ball into the box, and you know, and they'll get the outcome. You know, there's more goals here for Rangers, but they've got to keep the foot in the gas.
What we know about Servette is that they've got a bit of guts about them, because they came back twice against Genk in the previous qualifying round to take that tie to extra time, and then of course won on penalties. So, and
that was down to 10 men as well, Rob. Yeah. So it's real character and belief to stay in the game. And by the way, it's been a lot of hard work on the night when you're down to 10 men after 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah. So they need to draw on that tonight, because if they want to get back in it, the tie's not over. You know, if they can nick a goal here, they would be right back in it. Rangers need to do the opposite. They need to press. They need to go and get their third goal and get at this team.
And they might be just about to do that. Cantwell to Danilo down the left-hand side. His cross is blocked. Throw in quickly taken. Danilo tries to run it back towards Cantwell. The ball goes out. It will be a Servette throw. They played 117 minutes against Genk with 10 men. Did Servette, lost their first choice goalkeeper in the game as well. They survived a lot and came back to win. So Rangers will be well aware of their durability and their resilience, but they trail here by 2-0, and they've been played off the park in many respects so far, looking to get their way back into it with Fofana attacking down the left side of the box, rolls it out, building something useful here, came into a shot, and from 25 yards again, it was pretty much straight at Jack Butland, but they managed to find an opening there.
It's far too easy, you know. It's just a little throw, Servette in their own half, a little throw inside, and then they switch it out of the left-hand side, burst down and get a cross in and a shot at goal. Far too easy. So Rangers, you know, I think they've just kind of took their foot off the gas just a little bit at the moment, just got to regroup a little bit. You know, just defensively there should be a lot better.
Every time they go forward, Rangers, they look dangerous. Lammers to Cantwell out on the left-hand side. Back to Barisic. Steps away from Bedia. And the ball is back now with John Souttar. Connor Goldson right across the back line to James Tavernier, who opened the scoring in traditional style with a penalty right down the middle, as Joel Mal flung himself across to his left. Tavernier always knew what he was doing, and with little more than 5 minutes gone, Rangers were in front here. Half an hour later, it's 2-0, 10 minutes to go to half-time. And the Rangers fans beginning to see what all the excitement was about with all those summer signings who failed to deliver at Kilmarnock at the weekend. But certainly seems as if they've turned up tonight. John Souttar picks up possession as the ball is rolled out to him by Jack Butland, the England international goalkeeper. 9 caps he won.
You can see a little bit of the freedom of this Rangers attack with Lammers the switch sides. You've now got Dessert, who was through the middle, now on the right hand side. In fact, it's maybe more like a front two with Danilo and Dessert up front now.
Tavernier's cross ball, Rie under pressure. The ball breaks the way of Danilo. He was off balance on the left side of the penalty box as he tried to get that shot in on target. It flies high and wide, but it was another sparkling attack.
Was, and again, it's just a simple ball into the box, and it's Dessert making a nuisance of himself. He's a big lad, he's a presence in there, and he just sees the ball through to his strike partner Danilo. He gets it all wrong. You know, I still think you're maybe going to have to wait maybe 3-4 games to maybe see the best of Danilo once he gets fully up to speed. He does look a little bit off it at the moment. Maybe how long the transfer took to go through and everything's playing his part in that, but it will be a good signing for Rangers, there's no doubt about it. You've seen the flashes of it already.
Weir's cross for Servette, headed away by Goldson, chested down by Danilo, looking to link up with Raskan, chested down, gets the pass away quickly. Rangers moving smoothly again, the ball back to Raskan, at the edge of the box, he steers it inside. What a chance for Sam Lammers to make it 3. Can't believe he's side-footed that wide of target.
Oh, it's incredible miss. I can't believe, I'm just waiting for the...
I think it might have been offside, it might just save him.
It's brilliant play from Raskin in the first place, you know, and I think Raskin, he's so unselfish because he's onside, Raskin.
I think Lammers might,
you know, he just settles himself. I think he's going to have a hit. He's onside, he's on a mile. He's
missed it.
Oh, it's a mass.
I was trying to dig him out a hole there with the offside shout, but that should be 3-0.
That was the Strikers Union defence spokesman, Kenny Miller, but no, he really had to be, and everyone inside the ground was just waiting for the ball to be nestling in the corner of the net, and sadly for Lammers and for Rangers it went wide. Raskan played a massive part in that move.
It's another example but of Rangers going forward, you know, that fast, free-flowing football and doing it at pace. And, you know, Raskin, it was, I mean, he's laid it on a plate. I don't know how he's missed.
Now Servette on the attack, and an attempt from a pretty ridiculous angle from Boubacar Fofana, left side of the box, seeing the possibility of getting a shot in and goal. It was never going to threaten Jack Butland, and the Rangers goalkeeper hasn't had a really serious save to make. Everything that's come at him has been pretty much straight at him.
Yeah, he's dealt with it like he should have. I mean, there's been comfortable saves, but he's done it. He's been very, very comfortable in the situation he's had to deal with. But that's, again, it's a sign of a good goalkeeper. You need to be full concentration even in games like this. You might not be asked, you might not be called upon too much, but you just don't know when you're going to be called upon to make that big save at that big moment.
A couple of players down. Vuillo and Lammers, who clashed midway inside the Rangers half. It's going to be a free kick for the Swiss team. 10 yards in from the touchline, right hand side.
Good high line for Rangers as well, giving Jack Butland plenty of space, plenty of room to see it.
5.5 minutes away from half time. 2-0 Rangers. Konya with the free kick, missed by the first Rangers defender, but it's a looping header towards goal from the skipper Ruiz, which again is no test of Butland. Very comfortable.
They don't try and do anything, you know, different. Anytime they've got a free kick, you know, 30, 40 yards out, they just put it into the boxes. They don't even work at a different angle, you know, a little kind of short one. You know, it's just, it should be easy to defend against. What's going on there?
Free kick in the centre circle for the challenge on Danilo. It was Konya initially, and then the follow-up challenge came in from Kutesa against the Brazilian number 99. VAR must be having
I think it's a penalty, Rob. I think the Servette player was maybe claiming for a penalty off that free kick. I've seen a lot of hands go up and pointing.
Well, the referee, the Lithuanian ref, is going to come across and have a look at the monitor and decide whether this is a penalty claim that needs to be upheld.
Yeah, there it's there. Dessel. Yeah, it's a penalty.
Yeah, it's a clear handball by the man who scored Rangers' second goal, and this is surely going to be a chance for Servette to get themselves back in the tie. He's having a long look at various reruns of this. Is Donatas Rumšas, but the outcome surely is inevitable, isn't it? Yep, it's going to be a penalty. Penalty for Servette, and Cyril Dessel hangs his head. Didn't really know too much about it, but the ball clearly struck his right arm. A cluster of Rangers players around the referee, but that's not really going to change anything. Jack Butland is out on the penalty spot, just delaying the taking of the kick. It's going to be Chris Bedia, I think, who's going to take this for Servette. He scored 4 goals in his last 5 games.
I think he's looked like their best player, to be fair, on the night. When the ball goes up to me, as a big unit of a lad, he's held that well. Looks quite accomplished on that left side. He has. Yeah, he's had a decent enough game considering they're 2-0 down.
Well, could this be a turning point on the night? Rangers will hope not. Well worth their 2-0 advantage. But the picture could be about to change here. Scored 12 times last season for Servette, the Ivory Coast-born striker. And the responsibility rests here on his shoulders. Up steps Bedia, and the ball is in the back of the net. Jack Butland flashing across to his right-hand side, and the ball was bulleted down the other way, and suddenly 2-0 becomes 2-1 with 90 seconds left of the first 45.
Well, we know this team has got character. They've shown that, obviously, in the Genk tie, you know, going behind, down to 10 men after 5 minutes. So, you know, that never say die opportunity. The thing is, you know, you go back to that Lammers opportunity, you know, it should have been in the back of the net. It could have been 3-0, you know, and then you go 2 or 3 minutes later, you know, and they're back in the game, back in the tie. So Rangers, you know, they've got to get back into that groove and try and get this third.
It's a change of complexion at Ibrox, as Rangers, who are looking very comfortable when that second goal went in, now have a battle on their hands, because that will give a big lift to Servette, who are very much second best in the game. Vio launches a ball out wide. Tavernier's header away. now Cantwell in between the lines, finding some room, finding the pass that releases Danilo. His shot blocked as he cut in to get that onto his right foot. Rangers have it back, and it's Cantwell again, 25 yards out. Deflection on his little chipped delivery. The ball goes high, and when it comes down, it's grabbed by Joel Mal.
There's one thing for sure, Rob. There's more goals going to be in this game.
Yeah.
Rangers leave themselves 2v2 against probably Servette's most dangerous two players. And Rangers, every single time they win the ball back, they're going 2v2, they're going 3v3. Danilo's found himself on this inside left channel, 1v1 a couple of times. He's chose to go inside every time. He should maybe look to show the right side and go outside, because he's free, he's 1v1. He's got the abilities to go past the Servette defender, and there's chances for Rangers in this game and on transition. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be more goals in this game.
We're inside stoppage time at the end of the first half. 4 minutes are being added, and it is Rangers 2, Servette 1 on BBC Radio Scotland. And Rangers will look again right now, and certainly in the second half, to reassert their authority in the game. And they'll want to be a little bit more clinical as well second half, because they've created plenty. They've got into great areas time and again, and they should certainly have more than just the 2 goals by now. But a reminder that they need to keep the back door shut as well. They need to protect what they have at times, and it's striking that balance, which can sometimes be a big challenge.
Kenny's absolutely, he's spot on. He spotted it 2 or 3 times already in this half. You know, at times, and you know, the ball has broke down for Rangers. You know, they're 2v2 at the back, and they're big, powerful lads. You know, and all it takes is a ball over the top, and they're in on top of you. So they've just got to be a little bit careful at times.
And that's what I was saying there, Rob, earlier. John Sutton runs into blind alleys there.
Yeah.
You get robbed there, there's a chance going to come against you.
Yeah, fortunately Rangers got the free kick there. Forward they go, Lammers flicks it on, just outside the box. Danilo tried to play in Desser, not quite. The Rangers come again on the left-hand side. Barisic looking for that half yard to create, which he does. The whipped-in cross, headed away. Konya rolls it back. A little hint of desperation in the way that Servette got that clear. They have been creaking at times defensively as Rangers have piled on the pressure.
And that's why it's important Rangers keep what got them success. It was 2 crosses into the box, no particularly great crosses either, but they got the results that they wanted. They got the chance for the penalty, and they got the goal through Besser. They need to put this defence under more pressure.
I tell you what, they look as well, Kenny. They look a physically strong side, don't they? As if they've got plenty of legs in them, you know. As the half's went on, I know the goal gives you a little bit of confidence, but looking very strong and fit at the moment, and just Rangers looking a little bit leggy.
Fofana turning away from Tavernier's challenge there, got past him very easily. The cut back lacked pace.
That was the most turn there, Derek. He just dropped it one way, went the other way, and left Tavernier standing.
Had the cut back been better, it could have been problematic for Rangers, and they certainly won't be underestimating the challenge that Servette continue to pose here. Konya squares it. Guimeno with the shot. Vedia just ducked out of the way of it. And had it been wider of Butland, there might have been a problem that he might have been unsighted there. But it was, again, straight at the goalkeeper late on in the first half at Ibrox. 2-1 Rangers.
Yeah, it was a tame attempt, but it's another attempt. Edge of the box, they work it from left to right, to inside right. That's been 2 or 3 occasions now. They're getting shots off too easily from that area of the pitch. And it's been so close on a couple of occasions to deflecting as well, and it could have left Butland stranded. Fortunate enough, it's been right through and right down his throat.
That is half-time at Ibrox, a pulsating first 45 minutes. Rangers burst out of the blocks in real style and went ahead with a little more than 5 minutes gone. It was a clumsy challenge by David Dulin on the irrepressible Todd Cantwell, who was absolutely everywhere for Rangers. He won the penalty, and James Tavernier converted it in his usual fashion, fired right down the middle. Inside 15 minutes, Rangers were 2 ahead. Borna Barisic had threatened already down the left side, and as Rangers built built the move up really cleverly. It was Barisic who put it on a plate in the end for Cyril Dessert. Danilo was a presence at the near post, and the ball ran onto the back post, and it was Dessert tapping in his first goal for Rangers. Could well have been 3-0, should have been 3-0 when you think about it, as Raskan set up Lammers with a big opportunity. It really should have been in the back of the net from the Dutchman. Somehow he contrived to place the ball wide of target, and of course the sucker punch was a goal back for Servette. It was VAR who spotted the handball from goal scorer Dessert on the end of a free kick, and having scanned the monitor, he pointed to the spot, and it was Chris Bedia who, having scored 4 and 5, made it 5 and 6 for Servette with a left footer, which left Butland with no chance whatsoever. And it gives us a half-time scoreline, a much closer scoreline than we would have anticipated earlier on in the half. Rangers 2, Servette 1.
Rangers in the Champions League qualifiers.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
It didn't run smoothly, it didn't go to plan, organised chaos.
On BBC iPlayer,
show us your creativity, show us how you can operate on a budget.
8 aspiring wedding planners.
We have a delay with the bride.
That looks tacky.
It's awful.
Battling to make wedding dreams come true.
Everything has to run like military precision.
Ultimate wedding planner.
We finally pulled this one off. I'm feeling relieved, tired, exhilarated.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
So, half-time here at Ibrox. Rangers 2, Servette 1. Tavernier with a penalty on 6 minutes. Dessers on 15. Rangers look to be cruising. They created so many chances, but Servette right back in on 44 minutes after a VAR check. They were awarded a penalty, and Bedia tucked that one away very nicely indeed. Derek Ferguson. I think the Rangers players, the Rangers manager down below us here, perhaps stumped as to why they're not further ahead in this game.
Yeah, but they've done exactly what they needed to do tonight. You know, they come out the traps, played some exhilarating football, we've got to say. That pace, the imagination, the intensity, and they got their noses in front, obviously. Cantwell's been sensational, you know, that first 20-25 minutes, he was absolutely everywhere, leading by example. And he won, obviously, Rangers the penalty, but up to that penalty kick, you know, it was a brilliant move, the 1 and 2 touch football. It's been an absolute joy to watch. They got some joy down this left-hand side. Barisic, he's been in acres of room, and you look at that Servette side, you know, yeah, it looks as if they're in a little bit of disarray. You know, obviously they're missing 1 or 2 players, so that even a little bit of communication, there might be a problem there. And you know, I think it's not rocket science. When you're having success, keep doing it, but they seem to starve them of ammunition as the game went on. But as the game come on, you can see them, they were a fit side, they're a strong side. They've got a brilliant attitude, because at 2-0, you know, I know sides that would just down tools, throw the towel in. Not this side, and they've kept at it. But the but is, you know, it could have been 3-0 Lammers. It was a brilliant move. Raskin breaking forward again. We're talking about that pace and the one-touch football, and he laid it on a plate for Lammers, and he's got to put it into the back of it. I don't know how he's missed it. Then 2 or 3 minutes later, and again they've had about, what, 4 or 5 Kenny free kicks. They don't do anything fancy. They just put the ball into the box, ask the question. And unfortunately it was Deza at this time, you know, just, I don't know, he's turning his back, he puts his arm up, and there's always a danger, you know, you're going to, you know, get a penalty kick up against you. I didn't see it the normal time, but obviously the Servette players, you know, claimed, goes to VAR, and yeah, and we saw it in the replay, and it was definitely a penalty kick. So they're back in it, but this side, we knew this, what this side are all about. You know, they're not going to go away, they're not going to throw the towel in. To me, they look a physically very fit side. They're not the greatest football team side in the world, but what they have, they've got a great attitude, they're physically strong. And those two boys up top, they're causing a problem. I've got sore ribs from Kenny whacking me in the side, you know, because at times when Rangers have been breaking forward, you know, and you know, and they've got to, you know, take a chance at times, and when it's broke down, it's 2 for 2.
You know, nervy moments.
Yeah, and they're two big, strong lads up top, so Rangers have just got to be wary of that. But Kenny was absolutely right. You know, just what he was saying before the break there is more goals in this game. You can see that, that's for sure.
It's a really open game. The amount of times Barisic down this left-hand side, Derek has found himself in space. Just a couple of times, the pass to Barisic hasn't quite been there.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, well, it's an example of Danilo. He's running at pace. You can just see he's lacking match practice. But again, you know, I think it's been Cantwell that's been absolutely instrumental, because he's noticed that there's an opportunity to get Barisic on the ball in the right-hand area, and he's done it ever so well. So it's a little bit frustrating that they've not kept doing that, but just got to re-emphasise that at half-time. Where have we got the joy? We've got the joy down the left-hand side. Give it to Barisic. Get those deliveries into the box, get bodies in there, you know, and surely there's going to be more goals to come. But I think you could see Danilo getting a little bit tired. One or two, even Lammers to a certain extent, looked a little bit leggy. I thought a few of them, the players did. So maybe just it might be one or two changes certainly into the second half, but Rangers have got to find that intensity, that speed of play in the final third, and if they can, you know, there's certainly an opportunity for more goals.
Yeah, there's no doubt they look a very different side to the one that didn't perform at Rugby Park on Saturday evening. So a lot of positives, I'm sure, for the manager tonight. As I say, there'll be a frustration there. As Derek said, they could easily have been 3-0 ahead in this game, but right before the break, the penalty was awarded. No arguments really over that. When the referee was called over to the screen, there's no doubt what happens at that point. He changed his decision. The penalty was awarded, and what a really cool penalty it was. After, of course, Tavernier with a terrific penalty from the spot after 6 minutes. There's never any great doubt when he steps up. Really, really cool. Dessers, 15 minutes. Rangers were cruising at that point, but they were pegged back. It's an interesting second half ahead here at Ibrox, no doubt about that. Just to confirm what happens next with the return game in Geneva, that's a sellout. That is next Tuesday evening. The winner of the tie will go through to play either PSV Eindhoven or Sturm Graz in the Champions League playoff. Sturm Graz went down 4-1 away at PSV last night, so the Dutch side cruising in that one. So that could be a rematch for PSV against Rangers in a couple of weeks' time. The prize is huge, a place in the group stages of the Champions League. Should Rangers not get through this tie with Servette or get knocked out, if they get through to play PSV or Sturm Graz, either way they'll end up in the group stages of the Europa League. I've written down Kenny Miller: speed, intensity, aggression, quality, things that were definitely missing on Saturday.
And they got off to the perfect start with the penalty, but it wasn't just the penalty, it was the build-up before it. It was the energy that they brought to the game. There was a brilliant move down the right-hand side between Lammers and Tavernier, and Cantwell's just alive. He's the one guy that has been alive in that opening stages of the game, and they just got off to the perfect start. But they were all over them. They were making Servette defend. They were asking their defenders questions, and there clearly is a bit of uncertainty in that back line of Servette. But like you say, a little bit more quality, a little bit more care in the transition moments. There's been 5 or 6 situations. Danilo, again, he's just not quite up to speed at the moment, but the quicker he gets up to the speed, the better he's going to become, because this guy's got the abilities to go at people and eliminate them. He's just got the ball caught under his feet in a couple of situations, and Borna Barisic unfortunately has been on the receiving end at his 60-70 yard runs and no getting the carrot, actually getting the pass. But there's more goals in this game for Rangers, I've absolutely no doubt about it. They need to keep the back door shut, because up front, in Fofana and Bedia, they've got 2 good players, 2 real threats. But if Rangers just take care of that, they don't leave their cell exposed at the back, I've no doubt about it, there's got at least another goal or 2 in the second half for Rangers.
We spoke earlier, Kenny, about the defensive options open to Michael Beale. Suter's been great tonight, hasn't he? Striding out of that defence. Really looks strong tonight, looks fit tonight.
listen, in that instance, absolutely, because he's striding forward with a purpose. You know, you see the next one there where he gets suffocated, and he's fortunate enough there was a free kick there. John Souttar can do that, there's no doubt about it. John Souttar can pass the ball, there's no doubt about it. It needs to be when he does it, it has to improve. You know, on the second goal, he eliminates the midfielder, he's onto a back line, he releases Barisic, who then puts on a play. Danilo initially across the front post, and Dessers pays off at the back post, bundling it in with the thigh. But John Souttar is aggressive, he's quick, he can play, he's got all the tools. It's just about putting it together more often on a more consistent basis.
Are you expecting any changes from Rangers in the second half, Derek?
Yeah, well, I thought they looked a little bit leggy going towards half-time. Danilo, you know, he just, and you can see he is looking short of match practice. There was a couple of opportunities he should have played Barisic in, so I wouldn't see at half-time. I think you'll get another about 10-15 minutes, but as I say, this Servette side, they look physically strong, and I think they had 5-6 competitive games already this season, so they're into their season, they're into their stride. Yeah, they're missing some players, but as well as that, they've got a belief about them, you know, and as I say, that Genk tie that they come through, you know, they showed some great character, and they've done that again tonight. You know, they could have been dead buried at 3-0 if Lammers puts that one in, but fair play to them, you know, they've got away with it and they've got themselves back into this game. So yeah, Rangers have got to get back to the way that they started, that intensity. It's the one-touch football, it's that pace, it's the little give and goes, you know, everything that wasn't there on Saturday night down at Kilmarnock, you know, they've found that tonight on this surface in front of this big crowd, so they need to replicate this early in this second half, get the crowd behind them, and yeah, there is goals, and I would echo what Kenny's saying, just slight worry at times when Rangers are breaking forward in numbers. They're leaving themselves a little bit kind of fragile at the back, so they've just got to be careful, because those two guys up top, and Fofana and Bedia, you know, big, powerful, pacey guys, so we've just got to be wary.
What have you made, Kenny, of Servette? Derek saying they're a big fit side, a strong side, a side clearly with great heart.
Well, they have, and I think that when you look at that last result, when you go down to 10 men, honestly, let me tell you, it is so hard to cover the spaces. You're a man down, it might only seem like you're one man, but you know what, the spaces that are there to cover, it's super hard work. To do that for, 117 minutes, you know, it's asked a lot of them, so they've clearly got a good bit of heart and a lot of desire. But what you see here as well is there is some good quality in their play going forward. I particularly think on the left-hand side, they're more dangerous than on the right. You see Fofana drifting that way, you've got Mazaku on that side as well. I think he looks like he's got a bit of legs from the left back position, so they look more dangerous on that, but they do look dangerous on the counter-attack. You know, I think there's uncertainty in their backline. You know, you see when the crosses are coming in, you see with their clearances, they're a little bit hesitant, they're waiting on someone else to take that chance. That's where Rangers need to take more advantage of, like they did for the penalty when Todd Cantwell read the situation, and even on other situations when Tavernier's crossing or Barisic, even when they're not that good, they're not dealing with them probably as well as what they should. There is a bit of uncertainty, the clearances are a little bit sclaffed, you know, and Rangers are getting opportunities on the second phase from that as well. So they need to ask more questions. So whether that's by playing through the middle, like Rangers have done pretty well tonight with the combinations, or like Derek says in the first half, don't turn the easy pass down to Borna Barisic or James Tavernier. Let the ball get wide there, and when it goes wide, you know what's coming. The ball's coming in the box, so you've got Lammers, you've got Danilo, you've got Dessers. A midfielder must hit the penalty spot as well and get numbers into the box. But if they do that, I reckon if they're knocking on the door, I think they'll get the right answers with this Servette battling.
You guys have been raving about Todd Cantwell. Talk to us what he brings to this Rangers team.
He brings an appetite. I think he's a great example to the rest of the players. You know, the pace, the quality he plays with, the desire, everything. You don't... Listen, Kenny, I thought when he came to the club, I said earlier, I thought we were getting a kind of just a flair player, you know, somebody that would just flit in and out of games. He's anything but, you know, he thrives in this atmosphere, and I think that rubs off on the rest of the players. It was unbelievable, that first 25 minutes. That's what we're talking about, the heat map. He was absolutely everywhere, you know, down the left-hand side, right-hand side, picking the ball up from the keeper, you know, edge of the box, shot at goals, wins the penalty kick, and that's what we need at the start of the second half. We need more Todd Cantwells, you know, out there. to get us, you know, this third goal and hopefully, you know, I wouldn't say put this game to bed, this tie to bed, because you're never going to write this side off. But yeah, Todd Cantwell, he's been exceptional tonight.
It's been a terrific game here at Ibrox. Full second half commentary to come. Rangers against Servette with Derek Ferguson, Kenny Miller and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Kenny. Back underway here. And as you were in terms of the two team selections, no half-time changes. And Rangers looking to start this half the way they started in the first half, which was explosive. And immediately Tavernier was getting forward down the right-hand side, looking to combine with Lammers, who will be hoping he gets another chance to make up for his first half miss, because it was a glorious opportunity to give Rangers a 3-goal advantage. It would have been at that stage. But if Rangers keep on attacking as they have been doing, creating the chances that they've been finding in the game, then surely there will be more goals to add to a scoreline which at the moment doesn't really tell the story of a first half dominated by the home team. And they'll be looking for a better advantage than this to take to Geneva next week.
Well, you're bang on, Rob. It should have been 3-0, and I think if it had been 3-0, I think it might have been game out of sight. They missed the chance, and within a few minutes you're back down the other end and Servette get the penalty. But there's no doubt they just need to keep the intensity up. There is going to be chances in this game, and it might come from the bench. It might come from a player bringing on a fresher energy, fresher legs, and coming on maybe the last half hour of this game, because there's definitely, they put so much into it, Rangers, into that first 25 minutes. Maybe Derek was right. Maybe there is a few boys a bit leggy, a bit of lackey match sharpness and preparations in the pre-season, that maybe we need a bit of legs off the bench.
Yeah, you would imagine Michael Beale will use the squad as the second half goes on, as he applauds Rangers play at the moment as they build it up down the right-hand side. The ball just bounces off Lammers, but there was a touch from a Servette boot, and it will be a Rangers throw-in midway inside the Servette half. James Tavernier to take this throw-in, looking to turn up the noise again in the second half inside Ibrox, and it was getting very noisy first half as Rangers produced some electric football early on, showing bags of desire and hunger as well, things that were lacking at Rugby Park at the weekend. Challenged by Bedia into the back of Cantwell. It was a challenge he really didn't need to be making. It was always going to be a free kick, and it is about 45 yards out here for Rangers.
It's a great example. Deser's way down this right-hand side, chasing a lost cause, you know, and forcing them into a mistake. Well, finds its way to Cantwell. You know, we've just been speaking about him. He's been superb tonight, you know. Yeah, find themselves being fouled, what is that, about 35, 40 yards out, so it's a good opportunity, you know, to get a quality ball into the box.
Tavernier.
Maybe a wee bit too far out, Rob, for a shot.
Yeah, I think so.
A wee bit too far.
I think it's 35 yards plus a bit of VAT maybe Derek added on.
Looks like Dessers might want something down the sides, the way he's kind of positioning himself.
Barisic lifts the ball into the 6-yard box, maybe just a little bit too much on it, but it was into a very tempting area. The blue shirts flooding in, just couldn't get to the ball before it bounced behind.
Yeah, because it's just curling away from everybody. It was just too much close to the goalkeeper. It was just moving away from all the Rangers players that were charging in the back post. It was a good delivery into a dangerous area, but he just needed to give his teammates a little bit more opportunity to go on the end of it.
The big match on BBC Radio Scotland. Rangers 2, Servette 1. Just 4 minutes into the second half as the ball is lofted forward by Servette. Boubacar Fofana was after it, and good assistance there coming from John Suter to help out Connor Goldson, who just lost the flight of the ball there for a moment as it was bouncing inside the penalty box. That's what a central defensive partnership is all about.
Caused us problems, but Rob, as well, just a simple ball, wasn't it? Yep. You know, just a simple ball over the top, and you know, causing us a few little problems. I say those two big boys up top, you know, certainly got to keep an eye on them.
Ryan Jack gives it away under pressure. Beria looks to keep it, but he's outnumbered in the end. Dessert clips it away towards Cantwell, and in that 50-50 challenge, well, there was only going to be one winner. I thought that was fair enough. The referee didn't, and he books Cantwell.
I mean, you're not allowed to challenge in this day and age. I mean, the ball's there to be won. I think Cantwell, you look at his face at the moment, you know, he's in disbelief. The ball's there to be won. He clearly gets the ball, you know, and there's no intent to inflict any damage on the opposing player. He's just fully getting it. He's getting the ball, and on this surface, it's slick. You can't help yourself.
I'm not even sure there's a lot of contact there, Barry. It might catch him on the toe.
It's not a yellow card, Kenny, that's for sure. You know,
you were barely looking for a free kick there, far less a yellow card, but it's been given 15 yards inside the Rangers half. Konya will take this for Servette. In it comes, right-footed, headed away by Goldson. Bounces off Cantwell. Fofana was almost in with a little half chance there, but it's cleared by Todd Cantwell. And he reckoned it took a little bit of a nick on its way, but it's going to be a corner kick to Servette. Sliced behind by the Rangers midfielder. Here comes the corner kick in from the left-hand side. Diving header away, it goes behind from whence it came. John Suter getting his head to it. It's going to be another corner kick for Servette, who got that massive lift of a goal back late in the first half after the penalty was given by VAR. Another Servette corner, low in at the near post. Rangers again defend it solidly, and the ball is fired back by Konya to Mazikou on the halfway line. The midfielder, Konya, runs into trouble. It's well won by Raskan. And now a clipped ball downfield by Lammers. Just needed a little bit less on it in behind Mazikou. And Rangers could have had a real chance on the break. Just overhit by the Dutchman, but here come Rangers again. Ryan Jack with a driving run in the midfield. Cantwell, the pass to Barisic. His cross ball in. Almost for Danilo. Dealt with defensively that time by Servette defence, which looks less than convincing, and Rangers have certainly asked plenty of questions.
Again, Rob, it's down that left-hand side. The Rangers have so much joy tonight, so again, keep getting it down that left-hand side, keep breaking onto them and keep getting deliveries into the box.
Michael Beale suited and booted, shouting instructions from the technical area. He must have been punning at times in the first half at some of the quality of the Rangers football, but they need to do it again in the second half. They need to produce again, bearing in mind that this tie won't be settled till Geneva next Tuesday night. It's Severin who plays a long ball forward for Servette, headed away by Suter. Nice header down from Barisic to Jack. Ryan Jack leaves the pass short though, and it was overrun by Guimeno, who was gifted possession of the ball there. It was sloppy from Rangers. The ball fired forward towards Fofana. More in hope than any great belief that that was going to hit its target. Rangers intercept and now shift the ball forward. Dessert plays it inside to Raskan. Wide for Tavernier. Great ball in! What a save! What a save to deny Sam Lammers. He thought he was scoring Rangers' third goal. Joel Mal dived to his right, stuck out a right glove and produced a wonder stop.
What a move, firstly, but what a save from Mal. This is 3-1 written all over it. It's like his pinky. He just gets enough on it just to guide it past the post. I mean, to be honest, Lammers does everything right, unlike his chance in the first half. Wonderful save.
Corner kick coming up for Rangers after a save which almost defies belief.
That's a second choice keeper as well.
Yeah.
That's some pinky.
It's a big strong pinky, that, by the way.
Corner kick, left side, curling in. Goalkeeper struggling this time to get a fist to it. And the ball spins out wide right for Tavernier. Konya gets his body in the way and wins the free kick and takes the heat off Servette at the moment as we reflect again on an amazing moment. What a save from Joel Mal, the Servette goalkeeper. Sam Lammers was almost turning away in celebration because he struck it so sweetly. It had to be in the back of the net, wide of the goalkeeper. What a save.
Rob, I was already celebrating myself. I thought it was in the back of the net, you know, and it's a brilliant move, Raskin, you know, to Tavernier on this right-hand side. Doesn't take a touch, just plays it in first time, plenty of pace in the ball, and you know, Lammers doesn't need to find the power, he just guides it, but as soon as he makes contact, you know, you think it's just finding that bottom right-hand corner, and as Kenny says, Pinky, what fingertips, what a save it is, unbelievable.
That must be the strongest Pinky in European football, Kenny.
Well, it must be, because I'll tell you, it hit his Pinky. That was, you know, but even with the touch, you're still thinking it's going to find the bottom corner. It's a wonderful save, and that might just keep Servette in it in the second half when Rangers have been on top again.
Big moments, the VAR penalty at the end of the first half, which got them back in. This changed the complexion. And now that save, which stops Rangers reopening the 2-goal advantage. You could certainly criticise Lammers' first half for a sitter missed, but couldn't have done much more that time as Rangers give it away with a crossfield pass, which gift wraps possession to Servette. And thankfully for Rangers, they're unable to do any damage. Cantwellth Jack in the midfield area. Now Goldson across the pitch. Tavernier plays it inside and then moves further down the flank. Nicolas Raskin with a slack pass, which doesn't find Lammers. And now it's Servette on the attack. And Fofana is taken out by John Suter, taking one for the team because Rangers were looking stretched at that point. A free kick and a yellow card.
Yeah, it comes from Raskin there, just getting a little bit sloppy, you know, with the pass into Lammers, and I think Suter's got no choice as to bring Fofana down there. I think he was going to be breaking on us, but you know, just little bits of sloppiness just creeping into the play at times. You know, I just like to see Tavernier at times, you know, get that ball, just get bombing down that right-hand side.
Weir's cross blocked for Servette. Rangers look to counter. Lammers in the middle of the pitch. Raskin leaves it to Tavernier. Raskin the target for the Tavernier pass down the line. Covering across for Servette was Johan Severin, the central defender. The ball goes out for a Rangers throw. 57 minutes. BBC Radio Scotland. Rangers 2, Servette 1. And Rangers need to make their superiority count again in the second period to get the sort of lead they want to be taking to Geneva next Tuesday. Raskin, the Belgian under-21 international, who played such a big part in Rangers' second goal. Just trading passes on halfway at the moment. And now they look forward. Well, momentarily, but he's throwing his arms out wide, Raskin, saying, who's showing for me, as the ball goes back again. Now it's forward from Lammers, who twists onto the left foot, onto the right, tries a shot, blocked. And scrambled away by Konya, who looks to get Bedia moving on that right-hand side, and John Suter defends it really impressively. It was a physical tussle with Bedia, and Suter comes out on top. Yeah,
he got the right position there, Robbie. He was a couple of yards ahead of Bedia, the striker. He just got his body in between man and ball and dealt with it well. Bedia's a threat, you know, he's a big physical player, but John dealt with that very well.
Tavernier loses possession. Fofana attacking down the left-hand side, flicks the ball in the field. Great challenge by Todd Cantwell, and he was caught on the follow-through, and that will be a yellow card, a second yellow card for David Dulin, and Servette are down to 10 men. The midfielder hangs his head as he targets the Ibrox tunnel because he is off. And Servette, 2-1 down, are now one man down.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? You know, is that a booking? He's already committed to the shot. Cantwell gets a block in. I don't think there's intent, you know.
No, there's not. Listen, you can understand it from a player's point of view. You know exactly the situation. He's going to go and shoot. He's not going to even tackle. And Cantwell just gets in front of him and nicks it. Yeah. You know, he does make contact and he is going. I think he even pulls out with it, to be honest with you. It's probably harsh. I think from a player's perspective, when you're looking at that, you understand exactly what's going on. So you can sympathise with it. Listen, is that enough for a booking? Probably in this day and age, it probably is.
Yeah. I wondered if he could have actually pulled out of it at that last,
I think he's already
minute.
committed to the shot, and as Kenny's saying, you know, Cantwell, he's just nicks in a little bit. Well, he does nick in quickly, and I don't think he can actually stop himself. I think he's in the motion of kicking, you can actually see him try to pull away from it. But you get yellow cards for absolutely anything. I don't know if you noticed just earlier in a little passage of play, like Raskin is in possession of the ball in the middle of the park, and you know you've got Tavernier wide right here. He didn't want the ball. He was gesturing that he didn't want it. You know, and it's a simple pass in a wide area, and you know, I don't know if he's feeling something at the moment, Tavernier, because he was caught in possession as well far too easily. As I'm saying, he just looks a bit leggy. Sometimes his body language at times could be better.
Can Rangers make their numerical superiority count here? 11 against 10. Lammers 25 yards out. Plays it wide with the outside of the right boot. James Tavernier tried to hammer the ball in, and it was blocked by Mazikou. And it's out for a Rangers throw close to the corner flag. Tavernier with it. Back it goes to Ryan Jack. 2-1 Rangers. And the fans around Ibrox want more. They want more of that first half sparkle, and they want a clinical edge to Rangers attacking play as well. But as Ryan Jack drives towards the box and flicks a pass out wide, Sidi El-Desser was not on the same wavelength, and the ball slips behind for a goal kick.
Well, you can hear the frustrations of the fans, Rob, because, you know, it has been a little bit untidy. They've not done enough in an attacking sense to create too much in the second half out with Lammer's chance. But the one thing's for sure, they need to press home their advantage. They can't take this team lightly, as we've seen in the previous game. They fought for 117 minutes with 10 men and actually came back twice in the game and took it all the way to penalties to get the win. So you can't discount them, but move the ball quickly, make them work. It's a big old pitch out there. They've already worked super hard to try and keep Rangers at bay. Just move it and keep pressing against them. They're going to have a lot more of the ball now, and they just need to make better use of it.
Ken, I think that was just a little example. Ryan Jack, he's driving forward at pace. He's looking for options. There's not too many. No. You know, and Desser, you know, feel to move from there.
Tavernier's cross ball is handed away only as far as Raskin on the left foot. Good hit and a good block as well from a Servette point of view. Rangers come again with Tavernier working the 1-2 and then fires it back towards Goldson.
Desperate defending for Servette.
Cantwell cuts in from that inside left area. The ball breaks the way of Danilo, and he gets the shot away from just inside the box. Struck it pretty well, but it was at a more comfortable height this time for Mal to make a much more comfortable save than the earlier one he produced against Lammers.
That's good play from Cantwell. Then I think it was Dessers that laid it off, and then Danilo gets his shot away. It's good play, you know, but it's a shot, it's a chance, half chance for Danilo. I mean, again, I think it's getting towards just after the hour mark now. I think Danilo might eventually make way, or maybe now for Sima. I think he's still lacking in match practice at the moment, Danilo. I think he might be the one to make way.
Yeah, we're going to see Abdallah Sima shortly on the pitch. We're also going to see Samba Lele Diba off the bench for Servette, 6'5" midfielder, as René Weiler prepares to make his first change of the game. Of course, dealing with a team down to 10 men. It's going to be Fofana coming off. Boubacar Fofana, who's looked pretty handy at times for Servette. I don't think Rangers will be distraught at seeing the back of him.
No, he's pacey. He's got real pace in these counter-attacks. You've seen it in that minutes ago, that 1v1 with John Souttar, when it led to John Souttar getting a booking. He's got abilities 1v1. I think just when you're down to 10 men, there has to be sacrifices made, and it's normally a forward player. And I think what it'll do now, it'll allow Bedia maybe just to be that focal point at the top of the pitch. They'll look to get the ball into him, they'll look to try and get support. But with Rangers extra man, they need to make this dominance, they need to push this dominance and really make this team work.
Change days here, Rob. 6'5" midfielder, central midfielder.
He's a unit.
He certainly is.
John Souttar in possession. Todd Cantwell alongside. He just pops up where you want him to be. Todd Cantwell linking the play together. Lively. and creative, and he's been a big influence in this Rangers performance tonight. But they want a better reward than 2-1 to take to Switzerland next week. It is going to be Danilo coming off here for Rangers, and Abdallah Sima will replace him. Seemed to be taken a little bit by surprise that he was getting the hook.
Nah, there's certainly more to come from him. You know, just a little bit rusty in some parts of his play, but we saw a lot of good things tonight. You know, certainly, you know, get that drive, that pace, that little bit of invention. You know, just getting to know his teammates, so certainly more to come from Danilo.
He's a Brighton player, Abdallah Sima, but he actually hasn't played for Brighton yet. He was loaned to Stoke first season they signed him, and Angers in France last season. And here he is, looking to make an impact now at Rangers. Fresh legs off the bench.
Yeah, I think Derek says we've seen flashes of Danilo. I think he will be a really important player for Rangers moving forward through the season. Again, just lacking in that match sharpness and match practice at the moment. Sima, on the other hand, he's played a lot of football in pre-season. Again, you've seen some good stuff, you've seen some not so good stuff. I think he's pretty raw, but what he is, he's a big lad, he's powerful, he's got pace. Again, up front beside Dessler, he could be a real handful if they get the right service to the front too.
It's about finding the right combination, Kenny, as well, isn't it, of all these attacking players who've been brought in?
Well, that's what it is, it's finding that right formula, Rob. At the moment, it's really, really early days in relation to them all being in the building or on the pitch together, so it's finding the right combination, it's getting the relationships built between the players and what strengths they've got. You know, that's still to be worked out, but they just need to work out quickly. You know, that's it. Unfortunately, in Glasgow, you don't get a lot of time and you're constantly getting judged.
You're with BBC Radio Scotland, 66 minutes on the clock. And Ibrox Rangers 2, Servette 1. That late first half penalty really did change the picture. Bedia scoring after VAR intervened. The Dessler handball after he had scored Rangers' second goal. James Tavernier with a penalty to start things off. And well, we've had the expectation for some time, I think, that there were going to be more goals in the game, but at the moment it remains 2-1. Long ball played up towards Bedia, who stretched out a left foot but couldn't quite kill the ball, and it runs through to Butland and out to Connor Goldson.
I think you can see even the way that Servette have set up there in the attack. They're not just going to sit back when they've got a chance to attack. They're going to put bodies forward. They're going to try and get back into this game. You can see now that they're dropping back into that 4-4-1. It's two blocks of four. Even Bedia's dropping back in round Ryan Jack's area. It's going to be hard to break down. It's not going to be easy.
Not always as straightforward as it seems when it's 11 against 10. Barisic left side, cross ball punched away by Joel Mal. Looked like he could have been catching it. Goldson drives towards the edge of the area. Raskan to Tavernier and back again. Tavernier rolls it for Cantwell and he plays a pass to the byline for Nicolas Raskan. You could see exactly what he was trying to do, but the ball just ran away from the Belgian and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just a little bit heavy with the pass, but I think that's what Rangers have got to do as well. You know, just keep playing, get the ball into wide areas, keep putting the ball in. You know, it doesn't have to be all this intricate, you know, lovely free-flowing football. You know, pin them back. You know, we're playing against 10 men. Keep asking the question, even if you're looking for those little second balls in and around the box. You know, and maybe that's your way of getting this third goal, because this is a big, strong, fit side with an unbelievable attitude. You know, they ain't going away. So Rangers have just got to keep probing, get it into the wide areas. Certainly Tavernier, you know, I think he could get a lot more from Tavernier. You know, I'd like to see him bombing down this right-hand side, you know, getting better deliveries in.
Well, here he is on the ball, and he chips in an awkward delivery, which Johan Severin meets. All he can do is send the ball behind. And Rangers looking to make the most of this final quarter at Ibrox, having looked as if they were in cruise control when they were 2-0 up early in the first half. But
so this is taking an eternity. You know, get the ball down, put them under pressure, get the ball in the box.
Corner kick for Rangers on the right-hand side. He's directing operations at the moment, the captain. Before he takes it, wants everyone in the right place. Now, the corner kick fired in low. It's another brilliant save from Joel Mal. It was Desser, I think it was on the end of the corner kick. It went in low, caught it really well again, and the goalkeeper's made pretty much a mirror image save of the one he produced against Lammers earlier.
He did, and you know, and that's why Tavernier was wanting everybody into place, because they were working something. They were working something, run about to the penalty spot for Desser to come round and get the shot. You're Ryan Jack making the dummy run to the back. You need to make sure everybody's in the right positions, and you need to make sure that the pass and the execution's right. Dessers gets it right, Tavernier gets it right. It's just another wonderful save. Coming through our rookie players as well. He's probably unsighted until it passes that last guy, and he gets down. Probably fortunate enough, it's quite central, Rob, so he's still able to get a strong hand on it and get it away for the goal.
And he's the second choice keeper. 2 fantastic saves. Otherwise, 4-1.
You know, and the big saves and big moments.
Kenny, it still took an eternity. You know, the players should know where they should be in relation to the corner kick. You know, the hand goes up or whatever the communication is, and get the ball. You want to keep the pressure on this side. Keep up the intensity.
Goldson, Tavernier works the 1-2. Now he threads it through for Ruskin. It runs all the way towards Sima after Ruskin missed it. And Abdallah Sima could make nothing of that as he adjusts to the game off the bench.
And this will be a lesson as well. These Rangers players will come through this, these new signings. They'll feel the frustrations of the fans, and they need to stand up and be counted.
Another cross ball in from James Tavernier. It was Sima coming in at the back post. And a blast of the referee's whistle. And it's a free kick for Servette. It's just gone a little bit quiet at the moment inside Ibrox, because everyone wants a better, bigger advantage to take to Switzerland next week.
And this is it, though. This is what Derek was talking about with big players and these moments when this is a wonderful place to play. And Rangers still in a good position going into the last 18 minutes of this game. A man up, a goal up. They can go and still get a good result towards the end of it. But you just sense the tension in the fans, because the fans know it. They know they need more, and they know they should be getting more when you've got these advantages. And these Rangers players, who's it going to be? Who's going to stand up and take it with the scruff of the neck and go make it happen?
Kenny, that's a great point, because I think a few of those players out there, they're 2-1 up at the moment. They'll be wondering why. You know, there's a few murmurs going around the ground. You know, because that's what goes with this football club. You know, they expect to win, but do a little bit of style as well and win handsomely.
Tavernier almost at the corner of the box, right-hand side. Lammers to Jack. Now with Goldson. Ryan Jack again having a look up at what's on. To Tavernier it goes. Lammers lays it off, gives it away. The pass is not finding targets at the moment. And Servette are encouraged, and they drive forward. Down the left-hand side goes Severin. Rangers have it back. Cantwell on the ball. Listen to the noise. Wide with Tavernier. Cuts inside the captain. Then plays the ball wide where Cantwell has replaced him. Tavernier involved again. The ball runs through to Ryan Jack, and he lets it slip under his boot. It was a lovely leave by Desser. Jack was in, but he couldn't get control of the ball at the crucial moment.
Yeah, it's very narrow, you know. They're trying to play through that middle area, and you've got to be so precise.
Lammers with his back to go at the edge of the area, plays it out to Goldson. On the touchline is Tavernier. Sam Lammers again, little shimmy, rolls it in with his back to goal. Desser looked to play it out towards Jack, but there was a Servette player in the way, and these are frustrating moments for Rangers as they can't quite find the key to unlock this defence and strike again. Jack starting things off in the midfield. Across the pitch it goes to Cantwell. Wide for Barisic. Can he find the room to deliver? It's a great ball in towards Lammers. And struck it on the half volley. He was under pressure. It wasn't a clear strike by any manner of means. And it goes way over the top and behind Mal's goal.
And it's just these final touches, Rob. It's Desser leaving it great for Ryan Jack, just miscontrols it. Desser then misplacing the lay. It was Cantwell just over hitting the pass for the Raskin run. These situations, they just need to be, like Derek says, a little bit cleaner, more precise in those final actions. That's where, again, the likes of Cantwell, you expect him to have that calmness. in that situation.
Header forward from Ryan Jack, and Dessert chasing and getting it. Determined play. Now Lammers at the edge of the box, onto the left foot, tries the left foot curler, is blocked. The cheers, the shouts for a penalty are coming from the stands rather than on the pitch after that Lammers shot was blocked. But Rangers come again. There's going to be chances of plenty, you would think, between now and full time. Can Rangers take one? Tavernier, Jack, Cantwell, left side of the pitch, goes wider still for Barisic. Cantwell pops up again, back it goes to Suter, working it across to Goldson. Servette are pinned in here, back it goes from Ruskin to Jack and out wide. Barisic loops it up towards the back post, shows too much of it to the goalkeeper, and he flops to the ground. Joel Mal with the ball in his gloves, and if he looks up at the clock, he will see we have 15 minutes to go.
It's good pressure from Rangers, you know, just working it, you know, side to side. It's just that final pass, just can't quite find it. Rangers going to make a couple of substitutions now.
As the ball is launched down the pitch. Well, if the scoreline stays this way, Servette will feel like they've won a watch, presumably a Swiss watch, because this scoreline does not still tell the story of the game. Rangers will want more of an award for the second leg to come. Kieran Dowell is going to be on the pitch shortly for Rangers. Jose Cifuentes as well. But the ball is in play, and it's wide left with Barisic. Fires it in low. Cantwell is there. Can't make too much headway, but Jack retrieves it. And it's across the pitch from Goldson to Ruskin. And Dessert, right side of the box, pulls it back, and it just batters off the boot of Nicholas Ruskin, and it goes behind disappointingly for Rangers for a goal kick. Here come the changes. Ryan Jack is off, and Jose Cifuentes, the Ecuadorian international, will take his place in the midfield. Up comes Sam Lammers as well, and Kieran Dowell is the replacement. Well, he should have scored first half, but he was denied by a wonder save second half, Lammers.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed he's not opened his account, particularly that one in the first half. I mean, he'd done everything right with the second half one. It was just a wonderful save. But I think it was a better performance for Lammers tonight. He was more involved. You know, I think he's kind of been on the periphery of the games that I've seen so far, but he was far more involved tonight. I think that goes for pretty much all the Rangers attacking players based on how they started this game. First sighting of Cifuentes in a Rangers jersey. It'll be interesting to see how he performs in this last 13-14 minutes.
As forward goes John Suter, crossing halfway for Rangers, steering a pass wide to Tavernier. Infield, Cifuentes, number 15 on his back, plays the ball to Cantwell. Fired into the edge of the area. Dessert, Cantwell, and it just came at Todd Cantwell a bit too quickly there. As he was bursting into the penalty box, and it just cannons off the former Norwich midfielder and behind for a goal kick. Here comes a change now for Servette, and it's going to be Ronnie Rodelan is coming off, and it is beginning to resemble Land of the Giants for Servette, because he's not that much shorter than 6'5" Biba, who came on earlier, and he is the latest replacement on the pitch for Servette. They're not rushing the change as you would expect, because if you offered them this scoreline to take to Switzerland next week, they would bite your hand off with 10 men.
Certainly would, Rob. And you've got to say they've been, you know, their attitude is quite incredible. You know, they've came here, they've handled the situation. You know, I think Kenny was quite right to point out the Rangers players handling, you know, the occasion as well, and so far, you know, you've got to say, yeah, they have just, it's the big moments in the game. Lammers has just went off. I thought he gave a good account of himself, and another night he could have been getting away with a couple of goals. You know, certainly the first one should have been in the back of the net, but that wonderful save from Mal. But Rangers, they've still got plenty of time. They've got 10 minutes. This should be a side that should start to tire. but Rangers have got to keep the foot in the gas, got to keep getting the ball into the box, try to create. It's just that final pass just been missing.
And talking of goal scorers, it was Chris Bedia who went off to be replaced by Rodela, and it was he, of course, who tucked away that penalty late first half to keep up his scoring start to the season and to give his team a big lifeline at that stage, and it remains that way as Cifuentes is short with his pass for Tavernier, who was marauding down the right flank. The ball goes out for a throw-in. Tavernier takes it and gets the ball back. Dowell with a cross ball in towards Sima, who knocks it down, comes straight back to Abdallah Sima, and he struck the shot really well with his right boot, but it was straight at Joel Mal.
Yeah, it was a good effort. It came to him really quickly. He's tried to knock it down. It was a crossfield pass for Dowell, headed down for Sima in the direction of Desser, and it just comes back to him really quick off the ground, catches it on the volley, but unfortunately, normally you can see them just pull them into the corner. It just goes right down Mal's throat, and at the moment, everything seems to be falling for Mal.
And the clock at the moment is moving too quickly for the Rangers fans as well, because we've gone inside the last 10 minutes. They want more from this tonight, as Servette look to threaten again, but their latest attack fizzled out, and now Rangers look to be more meaningful, with Desser laying the ball off for Cantwell, who can't quite control it. It was won by the giant figure of Biba in the midfield, and he tidies up and he sends the ball back to his goalkeeper. That's terrific play from Dowell, who gets back to win it. Everything looked against him as Severin strode out of defence for Servette. And Rangers have it now with Cantwell on the left-hand side, playing with his head up, having a look. Dowell fires it in, looking to link with Desser. It was blocked, but it's straight back into Rangers' possession again, and Barisic with the cross ball, maybe a little bit obvious that time and blocked. Maybe tiredness is beginning to set in as Barisic is caught in possession this time and drops to the ground, hoping for a free kick, but I don't think anyone was going to be taken in by that. He looks pretty knackered, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't get that time against this side. You know, they've been at it right from the off, but you can see there's still work to be done from Rangers. You know, those little passages of play in and around the box, not quite that kind of slickness that Michael Beale would have been hoping yet. So it is a work in progress, but you know, it's a little bit frustrating for the fans, obviously, but you can see that there's signs there, you know, that it is coming, but just that little final piece of the jigsaw, it's just been missing tonight.
One more goal, Kenny, would make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely would, Rob. You know, and it should have came in the first half with the play and the start that they had and Lammer's chance. At the moment, they're just not doing enough. They've not really created too many clear-cut chances out with the Lammer's opportunity, which Mal then obviously made that wonderful save. They just need to be more. It's just things like that. You're passing out the pitch, you're giving Servette an opportunity just to slow the game down, run the clock down, and again, if they can escape here with a 2-1, they'll be absolutely delighted. But Rangers have got to do more. Similarly, Sardi, you need to find a way to get this goal or make them ask them these questions that they asked in the first half in that first 25 minutes.
Cifuentes down the right side, linking with Dowell, the two subs. Dowell's cross left-footed. Well, the minute he struck it, there was far too much on that, way beyond Sima, and bouncing behind for a goal kick, and that just plays into Servette's hands at this stage.
Certainly does, and there was a little example there, you know, a player still getting to know each other. Cervantes who's just come on, you can see he wants to play the ball into space for Tavernier, you know, to force him to get down the line, you know, but Tavernier, he doesn't want the ball into space, he wants it to feet. But that ball from Dowell, you know, it should be a lot better than that, you know, and he should be fresh. He should be coming on full of beans, but no, you know, you're looking certainly for better from him from that area.
Just looking at the expression on Michael Beale's face in close-up moments ago on the TV monitor, and it just told you everything. He'll be delighted at lots of aspects about the Rangers' performance tonight. He'll feel, as Derek's been saying, there's so much work to be done, and he's also desperate for the ball to be in the back of the net one more time and to have that 2-goal advantage to take to Geneva. Even though Rangers can be convinced they'll get chances in that second leg as well. Cantwell with a good ball into the box, and it's pretty well defended, and it ends up back in the gloves of the goalkeeper with 2 Rangers players pretty keen to get on the end of that.
So what I just felt it was maybe a chance for him to take it forward and get a shot away there. But it's a tough pass he's trying to do. He's trying to give it the no-look pass, reversing it through a couple of players, but he had space to take. You know, go and get a shot off a goal for 20-22 yards.
Yeah, I think the better option there, you know, that pass, and the weight of pass would have to be absolute inch perfect. I think you're right, Kenny. Just take a touch forward, you know, and have a strike at goal, even a deflection, anything at this moment in time, just to get Rangers that 3rd goal.
But the night starts so positive. It starts on the front foot. It gets 2 goals in the first 15 minutes, and you're absolutely dominating. But this is when you're playing here, and things just turn. That's when there's the character to continually producing your best moments, making good decisions. By the way, still, I know they're trying and they're running and things, but just that little bit of quality's just been missing. That calmness, like I say, you expect Cantwell in these moments, in the final third, to have that presence of mind to execute, have that little calmness in the touch or the way to pass. Just not happened yet.
I don't think it's the shock of the night to find out that the sponsors man of the match is Todd Cantwell. He has been fantastic, but right at the moment, there's a threat, a live threat from Servette when they get into the final third. Rangers defend it pretty well, but it is Servette in possession of the ball at the moment. 10 against 11, but they're managing to hold on to possession here against tired-looking Rangers who look to lift their performance for the closing minutes and find another goal. That's the plan. The ball is even bouncing off Todd Cantwell at the moment, not quite sticking for him. On the wide left with Kuteza, plays in the cross ball, headed away by Barisic. He's down on the turf, looking as if he's got some cramp issues. Play goes on. Tavernier flicks it through to Dowell. Dessert into the middle, and the final pass, which has been happening pretty regularly in the last 10 minutes, goes astray.
Yeah, that typifies certainly the second half. You know, players not in the same wavelength. You know, listen, we're not going to point the finger in terms of a lack of effort, but you're not just quite getting, you know, that final pass, that little bit of slickness that they need, and that final third in and around the box. But, you know, they've got to keep at it, try and find this third.
Shima with his back to goal from an angle, and I think there was a handball as the ball was being controlled by Abdallah Sima, and a free kick goes Servette's way. Rangers will take the opportunity to make a couple of late switches. Cyril Dessert is coming off, and Yanis Hadji will take his place, and Scott Wright is going to be introduced late on as well to take over from Nico Raskan. So it's a last roll of the dice from Michael Beale with just 2 minutes of regulation time remaining, hoping that Rangers can find a little bit of late spark to get the goal they so desperately want to add to that 2-1 advantage.
Well, that's it. So that's the last throw of the dice. Like you say, there is some attacking, creative players on that field there now, Rob. It's can someone pick that pass? Can someone take that moment to go and get this goal? Because it could be oh so important going into the second leg across in Geneva next week.
Just looking at Rennie Weiler there, who must have feared what was about to unfold tonight when his team went 2-0 down inside 15 minutes, and suddenly you cut to virtually 89 minutes, and it's 2-1, and well,
Rob actually thought that the tie could have been put to bed in that first half. The way the game, the way it was panning out, you know, that Lammers miss, you know, Rangers go 3-0 up, you're thinking they could go on, it could be 4 and 5, but then obviously the Dessert, the handball, they get back into it and they've grown confidence, and as I say, they've got a fantastic attitude this side, a fit side, And it's a side that's weakened as well, you know, not their first choice keeper, although their keeper tonight's pulled off a couple of magnificent saves.
Barisic floats it across, Tavernier up for the header. Dowell tries to keep it alive. Across it goes to Cantwell. Flicked out wide, Barisic looks to set something up, and the flashing header is gone wide. It's also a clash of heads in the penalty box, and the physios are getting on the pitch, sharpish.
Yeah, there's a bit of claret there, certainly in the Servette player.
Yeah, both players down, so there's going to be a delay here and some extra time to be added on. We're almost at 90 minutes anyway. It was the Barisic cross, it was Sima trying to get his head on the end of it, and there was a pretty painful coming together. Well, 6 minutes to be added, but that could well become 7 or 8 because both players are still down getting treatment.
Yeah, they need to take their time and make sure, like Derry says, there was some blood there. They need to make sure both players are able to continue first and foremost, and they're okay. But what it is they've got 6 minutes for whenever the game starts for Rangers to try and go and get... Listen, they're 2-1 up. It's not the end of the world. It's just the way the game shaped up from the start. There was a real energy about the performance. There was some real quality in the moves, slick passing, 1-2 touch combinations, and really, really good movements in the final third. You just expected Rangers to do it. But what it goes to show is not only this team got heart and they've got desire and they've got belief, and there's a grit and determination about them. It just goes to show how quickly momentum can shift in football. That goal goes in for Lammers. It's 3-0. I feel that it's game done. You know, I really do. I know what just says all the qualities that they've got, but at 3-0, it's a long, long way back. And Rangers would have been on a high at that moment. You fast forward 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, there's a penalty at the other end, and it's 2-1 right before half-time. The momentum just shifts in the second half. And Derek says, like, a lot of these wee situations have been symptomatic of the second half performance. Misplaced passes, out the pitch, simple passes that are going out the pitch. They're giving Servette something to hang on to, and they're just allowing them the time to run down the clock. It's not been a good second half, and they'll have felt the frustrations of this fans. This will be the first time they've played it in a real competitive game. And this is what it's like when you're not going to be, when everything's not going your own way and the other team are coming into it. And they need to get used to it, and used to it quick, because they'll be facing so many games where they're facing resolute, they all get determined defences over the course of this season.
You would have to say the 2 saves are massive as well, aren't they, in the game, because even if one of those goes in, it's 3-1 rather than 2-1.
It becomes a different game. It does, Rob. I think we all know that, because at 3-1, when they're down to 10 men, again, we're talking about momentum. That could have just put could have been a real body blow for Servette, and it might have given Rangers the lift that they needed at a really, really important time of the game. But never. The keeper made 2 saves, and again, they've got something to hold on to. They'll be absolutely delighted to leave here with a 2-1 tonight, if that's the case. Take it back next week, and we all know it is tough. Doesn't matter where you travel, European football, away games, it's always tough when you're travelling.
It was Steve Rouillet, the Servette captain, who was their player involved in that clash of heads with Sima. Sima's up and about, and he's okay now, but it's taken a while to patch up the skipper for Servette. He's got a bandage round his head, and he's going to battle on here through the closing moments, and we are talking closing moments because we're already well into stoppage time.
The only criticism I would say, Rob and Kenny, you know, they found success in the first half down the left-hand side, first 20-25 minutes. Then they stopped doing it, and most of this second half, they've kept trying to probe through the middle, little kind of intricate passes, little give and goes, not quite work. Sometimes just do the simple thing, work the ball into a wide area and get quality deliveries. And Barisic and Tavernier, you know, that's a strength that they have. I just think we've tried to be a little bit, for my liking, a little bit too clever at times in this second half period.
Well, the bandaging of Rouillet's head was a bit of a waste of time because he's going off. He was pretty keen to stay on, but
he's not happy for either.
No, he's not. He's not. But he has replaced Anthony Baron as the player who comes on to replace him inside stoppage time, as Servette look to hang on to what they've got, which is a 2-1 deficit, which they will feel they can turn round next week. And the damage could have been a whole lot greater for them tonight had Rangers really cashed in Can they find something in these closing minutes to boost the advantage as the ball goes back from Tavernier to Butland?
It's the first time for a while my neck's actually looked down towards this way, towards Jack Butland's goal. It's been so much kind of dominance for Rangers without really creating too many opportunities to score.
Ball with Tavernier on the touchline, right hand side. Yanis Hadji takes it and turns and has a look, works it towards his left foot, flicks it towards Dowell, just outside the area, tries the left foot shot, took a deflection on its way through, but it's comfortable in the end. He's made a couple of special saves tonight. That one didn't have to be for Joël Mal. He's comfortably behind it, and he takes time in getting rid of the ball here because Servette are very happy with what they've got at the moment.
But again, it's like Derry says, it's funneling through the centre of the pitch. There's like 4, 5, 6 Servette players there. Hadji chopped, and I think he looked right to see where Tavernier was, and Tav's away back here. He should be up there in the final line of the game. Again, where he's dangerous, where he has been for 6, 7 years.
Barisic, left-hand side, gets another cross ball in. There have been plenty of them from him. The substitute Baron gets it away. Rangers flip the ball in. Cantwell lofts it into the penalty box, but they're managing to clear everything at the moment, Servette.
I just think, Kenny, at this stage, with this side that Michael Beale's put together, I don't think we're good enough to go through the middle, you know, and I think that's why, just keep it simple, you know, work it into the wider areas. We have got quality, you know, in terms of the delivery from Tavernier. I've been a little bit disappointed in Tavernier tonight. I think he should have shown a little bit more energy, certainly bombing down this right-hand side, and at times I think he's played well within himself.
It's just a little bit untidy from Rangers at this stage. Cantwell overrunning it, then Cifuentes gave it away. Scott Wright unable to have an impact off the bench, and it is all fizzling out at the moment for Rangers. Yes, it's a win, but it's not the scale of victory that they thought they were onto in the first half, and they will have to produce another top performance next Tuesday night if they are to ensure that they are through to the next hurdle that has to be surmounted on the way to the group stages of the Champions League.
And that's what it is, because all the good work that was done early has kind of been undone a little bit by the kind of nature of the performance and how it's went down. That you'll be leaving here tonight as a Rangers fan, you're 2-1 up, you've got a lead going into the second leg next week, but I still think there's a lot of questions unanswered about this team, you know, and about the signings and about the performances. Again, style was talked about beforehand. I don't think it's that. I just think it's having that ruthlessness about you to go when you're on top of a team. Go and put them to the sword.
Deep into stoppage time at Ibrox, and it is Servette who are on the attack. They're in possession of the ball, 10 men against 11. A curling cross in from Severin is headed away. It's going to be another throw in for the Swiss team down towards the corner flag. They're managing the game perfectly as far as they're concerned at the moment. We're inside the 98th minute at Ibrox, and there won't be too long to go here as Cifuentes forces the ball behind, and it will be a corner kick for Servette, and they're not in a desperate rush to take this.
Well, I'll tell you though, Rob, they're still piling the bodies forward. I don't think they're going to be keeping this in the corner, which might be a ploy if you're at this stage of the game with the scoreline it is with a man down, but it looks like they're going to put it in and try and go for this equaliser.
Corner kick, left-hand side. The game almost over. 2-1 Rangers. It's going to be Cognac to play this in beyond the back post. A couple of unmarked Servette players, and in the end the ball flies high from an angle over the top of the crossbar, but just for a moment from that corner kick you were a little bit concerned at the overload for Servette.
Yeah, 2 players at the back post area, you know, nobody marking them. I think they're a slight worry as well, you know, this is a weakened side that Servette have put out tonight, so they've got players to come back, and that's why we're...
Barisic with a cross ball, and Abdallah Sima with a flashing header, and it ends up going well wide of target. It was half a chance for him on the end of a good delivery.
Yeah, and that's why we were disappointed, you know. You certainly thought in that first half hour, that this tie could have been put to bed, but you know, Servette, they'll go away with a lot of confidence from tonight, and they'll fancy their chances with the players to come back from injury and suspension. So Rangers have got a hell of a lot of work to do still.
And they'll take a psychological boost, Kenny, into that second game as well, won't they? Playing with 10 men as they've been doing for quite some time here. They've soaked up a lot and they've still carried a threat, and they're looking pretty comfortable here at seeing out this game.
Well, they are, and it's a big psychological boost, because they've maybe seen the best of what Rangers had in that first half an hour, and they've came through it.
Is there to be one last chance for Rangers? Sima down the left side of the penalty box. His cross is blocked, the ball goes out, up goes a flag for offside, and that could be just about that here tonight.
Well, I think with the next clearance of the ball, I think that might be the final whistle of goal. We're well deep into the stoppage time now, and it looks like Servette have survived.
Yeah, we've added about 10 minutes, and that is full time at Ibrox, in a game that kicked off with great excitement as Rangers raced into a 2-goal lead. Ends up in serious frustration at the end. Yes, Rangers have still won the game, but it's a 2-1 winning margin, which keeps Servette very much in the battle to reach the Champions League playoff round. A story of missed opportunities, big saves as well to frustrate Rangers. But having gone 2 up early on with James Tavernier's penalty and Cyril Dessert tapping in from the Barisic cross, Sam Lammers really should have been tucking in goal number 3. And would Servette have crumbled at that stage? We will never know. Back they came with the aid of a VAR decided penalty late first half. And it was Chris Bedia who rifled in a left footer to make it 2-1 at the interval into the second half, and a couple of remarkable saves from Joël Mal to deny Dessert and Lammers, with 2 pretty similar saves, stunning saves as well. And Rangers in the end seemed to run out of ideas. They were unable really to reproduce the high tempo football that they played early on, unable to create many more cast iron chances, and they have to settle for the 2-1 advantage and hope that they can produce a top performance next week. It's going to have to be in Geneva if they're going to have their wish and cross this first hurdle on the way to the group stages, they hope, of the Champions League. Final score at Ibrox tonight under the lights: Rangers 2, Servette 1.
Rangers in the Champions League qualifiers.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.